It's 40 years since the original release of Band-Aid. Look, to mark the anniversary, Bob Geldof bringing the hit charity song back. Do you know what? It's amazing. It combines all the previous versions for this new remix. All the bonuses. It's so good to see you. Great that you've brought this out again. It's given me goosebumps watching that. So many
mass
memories.
blubbing yesterday across the nation. the 1,000 plays on radio.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's incredible.
It's really good. It's an amazing thing and still doing incredible work over the years. And you've used AI, so we've got David Bowie's in there, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's not AI. I mean,
it not really?
It's old school technology. But what Trevor Horn, the producer, did, he's just made something so exquisitely beautiful and serious. I don't want to get all heavy at this time of the day, but, you know, just in terms of rock and roll, you listen to it and it's so beautiful, these endless voices, which is the genius of this country over 40 years.
Yeah,
so it's the arc of British rock and roll for 40 years. And then Ollie, the guy who did the Beatles thing, he tried to make everyone from these 40 years, from 1D and Harry to Sting and Bono, all fit into one room. And that's what it looks like. I'm thrilled by it. You know?
Oh, it does. And you've got people in there that are no longer with us, like Liam Payne, sadly, and George Michael. And, you know, that's...
Sinead.
Yeah, Sinead, of course.
And David Bowie, your hero.
Oh, my absolute hero. Yeah. Absolute hero.
You've been up all night just staring at the beginning and the end of the video going, David.
Look at that. That's astonishing. Isn't it wonderful? I mean, you must be so proud of this, but in a way, we're 40 years on and we still need to help people. Of course we do.
Well, that will never stop, unfortunately, you know. But these things have to be addressed. They have to be addressed truthfully. You have to face them, bring them to people's attention. I mean, I wake up this morning and there's, as usual, 10 emails about some latest awfulness. And this morning was from the UN Under-Secretary-General for Humanitarian Relief from Port Sudan and Sudan, talking about the mass rape of women and girls and saying, you know, the world will know about this and we will support the NGOs who do it and we'll talk about it, and not just the people in the fancy chairs, but so that goes on. And Band-Aid has been doing it for 40 years and the people of this country have just kept on doing it.
Yeah, kept on giving, kept on working and kept on making a difference. You know, criticism of what you do is not new. It's sort of dogged the whole thing along the way. It's got particularly loud now, I suppose, because Ed Sheeran said respectfully that he wouldn't have wanted to be part of it. He just said no. Other people have been less respectful, shall we say. Irksome, I would imagine, for your good self.
It's not. That's the honest truth.
Really?
Like, you know, part of me goes, come on, fine. But the other part, the necessity of this, the necessary part of this, is that opinions change over years. Have you given me a frog in my throat already?
There's some water.
Am I so overwhelmed?
It does happen a lot. Yeah, I can understand. Take a wee
sentiment changes, sensibility changes, opinions change, theory changes over 40 years, and that's correct. You can't stay static.
No, of course not.
And you've got to find different ways of combating these issues and different ways of talking about them. And what we're celebrating here, and none of these arguments will get any oxygen if Band-Aid didn't come out.
That's true.
And it's part of all this that, so Ed says, you know, this is the way I feel now. And, you know, I've put in the call. He's a really lovely man. He's an intelligent guy. He's a major artist. And we'll have a chat and we'll either agree or disagree, but we'll talk about it. But the debate must be made. And it means that we can argue our point of view even more strongly. So that's where I'm at with this.
No, exactly. I mean, of course, we want people to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, but they can't do that if they're starving. You know, they can't. You've got to sort of help them initially and then keep helping. You don't just walk away. I mean, you've never walked away.
So it's really simple for me. There's a hungry child, and there's a meal. And this record interposed that this gives you, anyone listening to this, if you love the song, buy it. It's a little piece of rock and roll history. Buy it just for that. But understand, genuinely understand, that the moment you get this record, you have interposed yourself between that meal and that hungry child. And I swear to you that that money you've spent on this track will get to that meal and that child, and they will go to bed tonight or tomorrow warm, more protected, and able to maybe give them back their dignity, give them back their agency, get back on the, hopefully start the journey back to, and Band-Aid will pay for the schools, we'll pay for the copybooks. From the Sun journalist yesterday, he called me from Tigray, live as I was going to go on another TV. He said, I've just been at the school where they're using Band-Aid pencils, Band-Aid copybooks, Band-Aid teachers and stuff. Here's a story. This is absolutely true for this show, OK? It's just popped into my head again. 3 weeks ago, I was in Montreal. The musical about Live Aid, Just for One Day, is coming out in Canada. It's coming back to the West End in May, but it's in Canada for the moment. And I was there plugging that. And I woke up and I called room service, as you do, and I said, could I have some coffee and toast? 5 minutes later, a guy calls and says, I'm not your usual room service waiter, but do you mind if I come up and say hello to you? I said, yeah, whatever. I'm in my crap undies and T-shirt scratching my bum. And, you know,
what a lovely vision.
Yes, I am very attractive at that time of the day, Lorraine. You know, knock on the door, and this guy comes in. He's a smart suit. He's quite a small guy, and he's there. He said, where do you want to put it? I said, just over there is fine, you know. And he goes, and he sort of stood upright. He goes, my name's Abdolo, an Ethiopian guy, obviously I could see. And he said, I just wanted to say to you, I was 2 when I arrived, when I was taken by my 5-year-old sister to Coram, which is the epicenter of the famine which started this journey. And he said, my parents died on the way. I don't know who they are or where we're from, but my sister, my 5-year-old sister, brought me into the refugee camps. And she said, I was brought up in an orphanage, a Band-Aid orphanage. They're not Band-Aid, we pay for these things.
Yes, I understand.
So Band-Aid orphanage, I went to a Band-Aid school. At 16, I got to Paris. And I perfected my English, I learned French, I studied hospitality, and here I am. And I said, well done, mate, great. And he said, thank you for my life.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well,
crazy.
I said, it's not actually me, but it's, you know, but for the people in Britain and everywhere, it's fine. And then he pulled out his wallet and he showed me his family. He'd married an Ethiopian girl he'd met in Montreal, and he had a 7-year-old boy, and they were all in Man City outfits. Oh, and I said, Man City, lame, you know. I said, good-looking kid, how's he doing? He said, great. And he just rushed forward, and he was small, and he hugged me, and he pressed his face into my chest.
Oh,
he said, thank you for my son.
Wow.
Which
oh,
is,
my goodness.
It's too much as an individual to absorb.
Yeah.
But it's not true. I personally, you know, didn't give him his son, like, you know, but he just wanted to tell you it works. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you should be real proud of yourself and everybody who is part of this. The remix, as you said, it's out now. 2024 remix is out now. I think just, you know, download it as many times as you want, as many times as you can, as many times as you're able to.
But it's beautiful.
Just keep helping.
It genuinely is a beautiful work of art. I just think it's the best version of this little pop tune that Midge and I knocked off one damp October afternoon, you know?
Listen, I know you're staying because you are going to actually mention old Midge. Young Midge. Young Midge.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to be like, you know. I mean, it's Mutt and Jeff, you know, like it's Laurel and Hardy.
You two are going to be on This Morning later, aren't you? Which will be lovely.
You're just bigging him up because he's Scots, you know.
I know, but he is gorgeous. It's lovely to see you. Thank you so much for everything you've done and continue to do.
How does Josh Brolin get his hair? What's going on with the hair?
I don't know. Do you think it's real?
I mean, well, it looks real because I ruffled it when he came off, and I said, "Is that real?"
It's very annoying, isn't it?
Yes.
Very, very annoying. Thank you so much. Well, that's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We have all the best moments from the show right here on the channel. And if you like this video, then we think you'll love this one. See you next time.